we go.
There you go. Cool. So I say we let him in. As long as you are ready to rock and roll, Cordy, Casey,
Let's do it.
let's just what? I don't want to know that. Oh, what have you done? What have I done? Okay, there we go. Hello. Hello, everyone. As you are trickling in from the waiting room, our icebreaker for today for cookies, cocoa, and questions, number three, is what are you planning to do with your troop rebate? Let us know all the fun things that you are planning to do. Type it in the chat. And as always, you will be entered for a fabulous door prize. Intrepid Museum, excellent. See a Broadway show. Ooh, which one? Overnight. Oh my God, Build-A-Bear. There's a new bear too. Tea on the
They
Town.
do Return of Timer.
Is that Tea on the Town? Is that the bus that goes around town? Oh my
Yes, Mike, it's the bus.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. You have to let me
We're
know how
super
that.
excited. We're super excited about it.
Yeah, we actually were looking at that as a reward one year. Oh my God, look at medieval times. These are going so fast I can't even keep up. If you're just joining us, look at all the amazing ideas in the chat and add your own as to what you are planning to do with your troop rebate. Bridging, camping, sneaker ball. I don't know what that is, but that sounds exciting and possibly like sports. Rocking Horse Ranch, where I actually did go. I actually rode a horse at Rocking Horse Ranch. Um, Sleep over the New York Aquarium, which is very cool. The shark room is a little weird. It's I had a fantastic experience, but it was wide. The speaker is very low on multiple guidances. Any guidance? Um, I don't know. Is anyone else having that problem? Camping, Kahari Water Park. I love this one. I love Nancy. That's a great thing to do. Cover troop registration and community service projects. Amazing. Camping, sleepover, Intrepid, movie pizza, skincare program. Yes, love all of that. Legoland, Great Wolf, Camp Kaufman. Oh my God, these are so medieval times. Rock the Spectrum on Staten Island. That sounds really exciting. Water Park and Ice Cream Museum, trip on the Staten Island Ferry, not to the Staten Island Ferry, Urban Air, registration and a tea party. These are all amazing ideas. Um, we will get started in just a second. I'm having far too much fun, actually coming up with looking at these beautiful ideas that you've come up with. Tea around town in the Airbnb in Connecticut for our oceans and sea life adventure. Bruce, that sounds amazing. I would have
Oceanic
loved,
Suite.
I would have loved that when I was a child.
Oh,
Bronx
I can't.
Zoo.
No, I haven't checked my email in a while.
Ooh, someone's not muted. I can hear that you haven't checked your email in a while. Camp Kaufman, absolutely. You are working at a cookie cupboard. Okay. Oh, you are working at the cookie cupboard. Was that you, Marianne? Was that you that I heard? Working hard away, getting cookies out there where they need to go. That's our Marianne. Always working for us. All right, we'll start in one, Marianne. I agree, Bruce. Marianne is the best. She is rocking it out there in her at the cupboard in Queens. This meeting is being transcribed. Okay. God, I hope with my accent it works. Oh, sorry, Mariella, that I called you Bruce. Either way, I'm really excited about all the oceanography. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist, and I kind of totally want to go on that. Um, but it could have been Bruce. We have many a man leader. It's exciting. All right, I say we get started. Welcome to Cookies, Cocoa, and Questions. Oh my God. And your daughter wants to be Brown University. They have a really amazing program. I got in, but I couldn't afford it. Um, thank you, Jason. Jason Alexander will be thrilled that you just compared the two of us. That is a step up for me. Um, we'll talk. We'll talk. Okay. Um, let's get started with cookies, cocoa, and questions number three. Our last cookies, cocoa, and questions of 2025. Okay, next slide, please. Little housekeeping as always, please mute yourself. Please put a V for volunteer, a P for parent and guardian, or a B for both in front of your name. Feel free to add your pronouns to your Zoom name as well. Please hold your questions until the end. Don't put questions in the chat quite yet, as they might be missed. In fact, my chat is on a completely different monitor. So also, please don't direct message to the staff. We will not see it. We are all in presentation mode. Also, someone else in this meeting may have the same question as you. So if you enter it in at the end and we all talk about it, you are actually being of service to everyone. Next slide, please. Here's our agenda. We have some important dates coming up. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about Girl Delivered in the postseason. We will talk about everyone's favorite way to close out the program, allocation, including a fabulous new video created by Casey. We'll talk about rewards. We will talk about finances, and then our illustrious Q&A. Next slide, please. It is a door prize. Casey, who won the door prize?
Oh, I didn't text her, Mike, because I figured she was running the deck. So I've got the
So,
list.
Wait. I'm going to scroll up. I'm closing my eyes. I'm going to scroll up. And wherever my mouse is, it wins.
You're cute. I have names. I just didn't send them to her.
Mariela Rodriguez. You are where my mouse landed. Yay, Mary. Yay. So Casey, drop your email in the chat. Email Casey, the best place for us to send you a door prize, and congratulations. See, we improvise here. Next,
I've got a second one. I can text it to her if you want.
I kind of like that. I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
I have to make sure it's on the right place. Next slide, please. And stars. This has been a season. It has been a season. We know it's been a season. It's been a slog. It has been a slog on both sides. On our side, on your side, we hear you, but we want you to make your voices heard, because we can't improve if we don't know what's going on. So we've come up with two things. Number one, there's going to be a very comprehensive survey, which I am working on right now, that will be sent out in early May. And there will be plenty of places for you to write your feedback, what worked for you this season, what didn't work for you this season, what you want more of, what you want less of. And as I always like to say in team meetings, wishes, hopes, fears, and dreams. So look for that. It will be coming out, and that will be open to everybody. Also, we have created a product, or we are in the process of creating a product program think tank. And this will be a 10-member group where we will brainstorm, we will come up with new ideas, we will come up with solutions, we'll come up with creative ways to solve things based on things that come up during the season, things that come up before the season, things that come up after the season. There will be a little bit of an application process, and it is open again to everybody, whether you are a first-time troop leader, and 2025 was your first cookie program, or whether you have been doing this program as a service unit cookie manager and cupboard manager for 40 years. Both are welcome, both are equal. We will try to get a good mix of people, and I'm really excited about that. There'll be monthly meetings. It'll be kind of fun. And, we'll do things like choose rewards and talk about all of that stuff. But it's very important for us to get your feedback and to make you feel like you have a voice in the cookie program. So these are our two ways of coming up with that. And I do hope you will fill both of these out and possibly join us. Next slide, please. Some important dates. March 30th, Sunday, cookie season ends. It is the final day for booths and digital cookie orders. There will not be an extension this year. Some cupboards will remain open for an additional week to fill last-minute girl-delivered cookie orders. Check the booth, because there are some people who are out of town a couple of days, and there are some people who just are closing a certain time, and we want to make sure that everybody has their cookies for girl delivered. Allocation, is always a big thing, so we decided to make it a little bit easier by giving everybody an extra week to allocate. So instead of April 1st, allocations will now be due on April 8th. This will not affect when you get your rebate or when you get your rewards, because that date is not the date that we submit to the bakery, our big spreadsheet. So both of those things will have no fiscal impact. You will get your rebate on time and will have no reward impact. And April 9th, our final ACH sweep. So please have all your monies deposited by then so that we can sweep them. And again, remember, we only take what is due to us. Everything else we leave in the account. But Heather will talk all about financials later. Next slide, please. Girl delivered orders post-season. So I have to put my glasses on for. In-person delivery orders are not automatically sent to the customer, and cookies must be physically delivered by the Girl Scout to the customer. These orders are fulfilled using either troop inventory that you have on hand, maybe you've taken a booth order, or you have extras from your initial order, or through a cupboard pickup. And reminder, the troop leader has to put in, or troop cookie manager has to put in the cupboard order, but the parent of the girl or caregiver can pick those up as long as they have been authorized by the troop cookie manager or the troop leader. All varieties are available for in-person, including s'mores. Some of you have not been able to get s'mores at the cupboards. We've held them back so that we can make sure that we have the inventory to do the girl delivery. And please make sure that your final cupboard order is in eBuddy for any outstanding orders from Digital Cookie. So the cupboard order has to go in eBuddy for everything that has been in-person delivered on Digital Cookie. Cupboards will remain open for an additional week so you can pick up these orders. Troops and caregivers should ensure that all pending in-person delivery orders are either approved or declined before submitting rewards. Troops and caregivers may see if there are pending approvals on their Digital Cookie dashboard, and there are two views. There's one for the TCM. There are two views for the TCM. There is the troop site and the Girl Scout site. And you can click on either one of those to view. And you will need to allocate those cookies to the girls so they count towards their rewards. I know I know Girl Delivered has been very scary. We have created a video, so if you have any questions on that, Casey has worked very hard creating a beautiful video that walks you step by step by step to see if you have any in-person orders. And we will drop that in the chat now. It is also, of course, on girlscoutsnyc.org under cookie resources. Next slide, please. Caregivers will need to mark the in-person delivery orders as delivered in Digital Cookie once the order has been delivered. Troop cookie managers should ensure that all in-person delivered orders have been delivered and there are 0 pending delivery for the troop site and the Girl Scouts. And you will see this is what pending orders looks like. We stole this right from the website. Next slide, please. Allocation. Everyone's allocation, everyone's favorite topic at this time of year. We have created a new allocation video, which we will watch in a second, all together. There are a couple of kinds. There's booth sale allocation, additional in-person cookie sales allocation, troop site allocation, and there are tip sheets for all of these that are available on the website and in the Help Center on eBuddy. So if you haven't checked out the Help Center, a lot of really valuable information is there. Don't forget to make your cookie reward selections. And again, all of these materials can be found at girlscoutsnyc.org under cookie resources and in the eBuddy Help Center. Make it simple on yourself. Wait until the sale is over. Do all of your allocation and rewards after March 31st. So between March 31st and April 8th. And if you get confused, I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat. Hold them. We will get there, I promise. Make it simple on yourself. Wait until the program's over, do them all at once. Also, just a note, GSGNY staff will not be allocating cookies to Girl Scouts this year on the troop site. that is something that you will have to do. If you are confused about that, please let us know. And we will help. All right, let us watch the allocation video that Casey's worked so hard on.
Hi, it's Lauren.
And Casey, and we're here to talk to you about the important topic of cookie allocation.
Allocation is the method by which you give a Girl Scout credit for the cookies she has sold. You do this on eBuddy. It is important to allocate cookies throughout the program because this is how Girl Scouts earn rewards. You do not need to allocate any cookies sold via an individual Girl Scout link on Digital Cookie. It doesn't matter if they were shipped or sold with Girl Delivery. They are automatically allocated to the Girl Scout. You also do not need to allocate cookies that Girl Scouts sold as part of the initial order. You already allocated them when the initial order was submitted. The cookies you do need to allocate are those sold in person after the initial order period ended
On February 15th.
and any cookies sold through the Digital Cookie Troop site. The in-person cookies fall into two categories, those sold at booth sales and those sold not at an official booth sale, but in some other way, additional in-person orders. First, we're going to focus on those in-person cookie sales. So if you only need to know how to allocate cookies for your Digital Cookie Troop site, you can skip ahead to 419. You would have received these in-person cookies in one of two ways. Either they were picked up from a cookie cupboard or they're from the extras your troop received along with your initial order. We're going to discuss cookies sold at a booth sale first. In eBuddy, go to the Girl Orders tab and then click Record Booth Sale. Click on the booth sale you need to allocate cookies for, and click Record Sale. Enter the amount of cookie packages sold at the booth and then hit the Go to Distribute button. You can now distribute the cookies among the Girl Scouts who attended the booth sale. eBuddy will assume all Girl Scouts have attended by checking the box next to their name. If there is a Girl Scout who did not attend, uncheck the box next to her name. You can select all or deselect all by checking the Deselect All box. You may enter the packages sold for each Girl Scout or let eBuddy automatically evenly distribute the boxes. If you want it done by eBuddy, be sure the appropriate Girl Scouts are checked and click the Distribute button. If you don't want the cookies to be evenly distributed and want to enter them manually, click on the caret next to each Girl Scout's name and boxes will appear. Here you can enter how many cookies you want to allocate to each Girl Scout. You'll see that the boxes say Cookie, Spesh, and GOC. This stands for regular core variety cookies, specialty cookies, and gift of caring. This is a leftover remnant from when our cookies were 2 different prices and specialty cookies were $1 more than core varieties. This is no longer the case, so you can go ahead and put everything into the cookie box. You can still use the GOC box for gift of caring packages.
When finished, remember to click the Save button.
I'll now show how to allocate the cookies sold in person, not at a booth sale, but in some other way. Additional in-person orders. Go to the Girl Orders tab and take a look at the numbers on the bottom of your screen. Girl Totals is the amount of packages that have been allocated to your girls so far. Troop Order is the total amount of packages your troop owns. Difference is the difference between those first 2 numbers. This is the amount of packages you still need to allocate. Once you have allocated all of your troop's cookies, this number will be 0 instead of a negative number.
Please note you cannot allocate more cookies than your troop has purchased.
Choose the Girl Scout you want to allocate some of these cookies to and click on their name. Now hit the plus order button. In the comments box, enter a description of what these cookies are. I'm calling them Olivia Cupboard 315, as in that's the date she picked them up from a cupboard. If Olivia had any additional gift of caring packages sold after the initial order, they can go here. You can use the other box to allocate any other additional packages. Then fill in the payment info if you're keeping track of that here, then hit Save. Now let's talk about Digital Cookie Troop Site allocation. Go to the Girl Orders tab and look at the troop site. We can see here that this troop site has sold 175 packages total. Click on the Troop Site line. This screen shows a further view of the Troop Site cookies. We can see that there were 170 shipped packages and 5 donated or gift of caring packages sold. Click on the Distribution button. On this screen, we can see that the 175 packages have been evenly allocated to all of the Girl Scouts in the troop. If you do not want the packages to be distributed evenly, you can uncheck the box next to a Girl Scout's name and make changes. Once you're done, hit save.
Please note, cookie season ends March 30th, so your allocation must be done by April 1st. So, for your in-person sales, you can allocate any time between now and April 1st. For your Troop Link sales, you need to wait until the cookie program has ended.
Once all of your cookies are allocated, you should finalize your Girl Scouts rewards. In eBuddy, go to the Rewards tab. Then click the Fill Out button. You'll then see a list of your Girl Scouts and the number of rewards they're going to receive. If a Girl Scout needs you to make a reward selection for her, there will be a note next to her name in red. Click on the name of each Girl Scout who requires a reward selection. After you click on a Girl Scout, you'll see a list of all the rewards she has earned. These examples are from the 2023 cookie season. Make the required selections, then scroll to the bottom and hit the Submit Girl Order button. Then repeat this for each Girl Scout who needs her selections made. Once you have made all of the reward selections, go back to the Fill Out button, scroll down to the bottom of the page and hit Submit Reward Order. That's it. You're all done.
And that's all you need to know about allocating cookies. As always, feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. Debbie Keim wins the award. I was wondering how many people were going to notice that we made that video before we made the extension. So it is April 8th, Debbie, to answer your question. That will be April 8th that allocations are due by. Thank you for your Hawkeyes. And if I ever make a film, I would like you to work continuity on it. So where's my prize? I'll send you something for that. All right, let's talk about rewards and the master of all rewards. Casey, take it away.
All right, so we have some really great rewards this year at different levels. And a friendly reminder, starting at the 500 level, you need to choose a t-shirt for all of your Girl Scouts. So make sure that if any of your Girl Scouts have reached over the 500 or the 500 level or above, that you have listed their t-shirt size in eBuddy. So as we're moving up the line, we have some other great prizes. And then as we get further up the line, we have some a sleepover at the Intrepid Museum at the 1500 level. And at the 2000 level, we have 2 dream passes to American Dream Park. That sounds super exciting. And then at the 2500 level, there's a couple of options, but what looks exciting to me is the Broadway show and dinner with CEO. I did that last year and it was a lot of fun. Please submit your rewards by April 8th at 10 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next slide, please. Financials. Now we turn it over to the keeper of the financials, Miss Heather Riney.
Okay, so just a reminder that if you've not yet submitted your Troops ACH form, please do so and enter banking information into eBuddy if you've not yet done so. There's a few out there that we're missing. So we want to make sure that we have that information to sweep if you owe us, or even more importantly, if we owe you digital cookie rebates, we want to make sure that we're able to get you your money back so that you can do all of these amazing things that you have planned for the end of the season. The balance of the funds owed to council will be swept on April 9th. If you visit the sales report tab in eBuddy, you'll be able to see the troops balance owed. If it is a negative amount, then council owes money to the troop. So you won't be swept. We will be crediting money back to you, and those rebates should be credited in mid-April to everybody.
So you will have them in plenty of time to do all of those fantastic trips that we talked about and I read at the beginning. Next slide, please. If you are having problems with digital cookie all kinds of things. My orders are wrong. The peanut butter is stale. Here's how you get some help for that. You can always use the website, and we will send the deck with these clickable links. That goes directly to Digital Cookies customer care team at GSUSA, and they will help you get a replacement if your order is lost, if your order is wrong, if your packages are opened. You can also live chat them if that is your thing. Or if you are like me and you like a phone call, you can call them at 855-530-4467, and they are available 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do not ship the cookies, we do not fulfill them, and so unfortunately, I can't help you much on that. The best I can do is actually do this exact process. Next step, please. Next slide, please. Door prize. Okay. All right. How am I going to do this? I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do this from participants. I'm making this up as I go, guys. All right. I feel like that should be music. Okay. Monique McGlashan. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. Either way, Monique, you win the door prize. So Casey will drop her email. Let Casey know where we can send that to you. And we will move on. Next slide, please. Okay. We have reached that part of the Q&A where we play the game show. All right, I'm going to take a very strong sip of my tea, and then Heather, you're going to throw?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Have my water so that I have,
It's good for the voice.
so that I have a voice. Yes.
For the voice. All right, let's go.
Okay, so the first question that came in was back when we had our slide about our survey and our think tank. And the question from Marianne was, is there going to be one for the cookie cupboard too?
The cookie cupboard managers, the service unit cookie managers, and the service unit managers, we are going to do a debrief, kind of in all of us together. So yes, there will definitely be something, and you will be able to make your voice heard.
Okay, now let me come down to questions. Is there any other way to check girl deliveries besides going one by one for each girl?
Yes, there is. I'm going to direct you. I'm going to do something that I hate it when people do it to me, so I apologize in advance. Corey is going to drop the video in. If you watch the video, there are step-by-step instructions that will explain it better than I ever can, and you can go back and watch it again. It is the fastest way. And then if you have a problem, let us know, and we'll help.
Okay. We used our initial order extra cookies to help fulfill girl delivery orders after initial order. How do we allocate?
I'm going to throw that to Corey Keene.
Hold on. Okay, can you repeat it? I was trying to get the video in.
No, no worries. They used their initial order extra cookies to help fulfill girl delivery orders after IO. How do they allocate those?
Just like that allocation video that Lauren created and Casey helped with, the two of them. That video, you do the same thing. Those extras that you have in your troop, you just assign those cookies through an allocation. So you click on the girl, add plus order, type in the number of packages and any payments received for those cookies, and then you submit it. And there are instructions in the manual too. I'll tell you where it is in the manual. Give me a second.
Awesome.
Okay, hold on. I was not expecting this, so I don't have it up and ready just yet, but I will get to it.
You know I like to keep you on your toes.
I know, allocating troop site cookies. So it's page 28 of the manual.
And if you don't have the manual,
load it.
You can. Are you gonna? Can you pop it in the chat?
I will. Yep.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay. If we're not doing rewards, do we still need to allocate?
You do.
Because there are some Lola that the girls still earn. So like if they hit the cookie exec level, we want to make sure that they are able to participate in that, and like patches and stuff, they still receive even if you've opted out. So
Excellent question.
Um, trying to scroll down. Let's see. Do- Does the panda hoodie come in a men's large? Asking for a friend. Mr. Ian is asking for his friend.
Well, you can tell your friend that I fit in the panda hoodie. So if I can squeeze into it, and still have a little bit of luxurious room, then I think your friend will be just fine.
I have a feeling he's stealing that from his daughter. When will the count for rewards be visible in eBuddy? Currently, I just see zeros for all girls, even though I know most have already reached levels for rewards.
That will be after the sale is over.
Since cupboards and reward submission date have been extended a week, will the ACH sweep for monies also be extended?
No, because if we extended the ACH sweep, it would require us to move back your rebate, and we didn't want to do that. So even though the allocation has moved back and the rewards have moved back, there will be no fiscal impact on that will not cause a fiscal impact for you guys.
Okay. Merle had one, it came to me actually, but asking about fall product rebates. So those have already been issued. But Merle, reach out to me via email and I can check more for you. Okay. I have two moms who placed initial orders and cannot sell all of their cookies. Other girls in my troop have been, I went too far, have been helping to sell. How do I allocate the cookies from one girl to another?
Again, I'm gonna turn this over to the Queen of Allocation, Corey Keene.
Okay. You allocate just like you would a regular allocation, except you put a negative in front of the number. So if you're subtracting 5 packages from that girl, you would go in, add an order to that girl that you're subtracting the packages from, subtract the money from them, submit that, and then go to the girl that you're actually allocating the packages to, and then add that same amount to the next girl, and then add a payment to it. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Hopefully that helps. And again, that is in the Troop Cookie Manager manual. And we will send this deck so you can watch, and the video so you can watch Corey say that as many times as you need. I would need at least 6 to get it. Next
Okay.
slide.
Next question.
Next question. It's cookie season.
How do we enter cupboard orders?
You do that in eBuddy under the Cupboards tab, and you add a transaction.
Page 31 of the manual.
Page 31 of the manual.
What else? Cupboard.
The transactions tab.
Okay.
And then you can choose your cupboard there.
Oh.
The numbers in eBuddy under girl orders are lower than the overview in digital cookie. It can be very confusing. How does this work? Will it eventually balance out?
It will eventually balance out. There is a lag time, but they do actually talk to each other. So when it comes time to allocate, everything will line up.
I have a parent who's still selling cookies through digital, but it's charging her shipping. How can she place the order with free shipping?
That's interesting. She should send me a screenshot of the shipping. I wonder if she is not getting to the end of the process. That's the only thing that I can think of. Or if she's not entering the minimum amount. Those are my 2 off the cuff things that I think might be happening. But if she sends me a screenshot, I can walk through it with her.
Okay, this one. Can parents have talking points to address customers inquiring about the legal issues? My girls are confused on how to respond.
An excellent question. GSUSA has a response that I'm happy to send, but I will also ask our Marcoms department to come up with girl talking points, because the GSUSA one is great, but it's dense. So let me ask Kayla. I have a meeting with her tomorrow to see if I can come up with girl talking points about that.
Will you have directions on where to find the checking girl delivery on the video?
Yes, we will. It's actually one of the first things on the girl delivery video.
Okay. I don't know if this is the same rewards question from the same person. When I look at rewards, I see 0 for each girl. This is too early, so we have addressed that. They picked out rewards in Digital Cookie, but I don't know how to get them in eBuddy.
If they pick them out in Digital Cookie, it will transfer over to eBuddy. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I see Corey shaking her head.
No.
Is that
You should be able to pull a report in Digital Cookie as a troop leader.
I thought they
the
filtered
queue.
over. Did that not happen?
Mm-mm.
A lot of it's auto-populated. It's just those ones where they have to choose an actual selection. The leader still has to physically go into eBuddy and do that.
That's awful. We should make that an enhancement.
We can request.
How dreadfully tiresome is that? Well, I think it should auto-populate. And it did. Sorry, there's an extra step for you.
Somebody asked how they can add the payment, I guess, for the cookies when they're allocating and stuff.
Corey.
There is a payment field when you add plus order. There's actually a payment field in there.
And isn't there a plus payment too if they're just needing to add a payment for like initial order?
Correct. You have to click on the girl. You have to go to the girl orders tab first, click on the girl, and then there'll be a plus payment option there. If you're just
that Corey has
only
allocated, can you tell that Corey has done the lion's share of allocation for her troop in Florida for years? That is why I go with the woman who knows. Next slide, please. Next question.
Is there a way to cancel an approved girl delivery order?
Write to me about it. I would need to know the specifics of what it is and why we're canceling. Probably not best to talk about in open forum. Shoot me an email.
All right.
And go back to that the rewards one in Digital Cookie to find out what rewards were selected. If you sign in as the troop, and on the dashboard, if you go to the very bottom of that dashboard, there's a report called Reward Selection. You can get report and it'll show you what they've selected.
Okay.
I still think it should auto-populate, and I'm going to cause a fuss over it.
Just to be clear, are we only allocating cash orders and booth orders?
Yes, is my the complex question to answer. So if it has been paid for in Digital Cookie, it automatically is allocated over.
Well, can we get some clarification on that a little bit? I want to make sure that we understand.
Yeah, you can unmute and ask the question because it's nebulous and I'm going to give you the wrong info.
It's Jessica. She said goodnight, so she may not still be on.
Jessica, we'll find you and we'll email you.
Yeah.
Is it Jessica Semler?
It just says Jessica Troop 1472.
But we know
she's still
1470.
on.
She's still on. Jessica, are you there?
I just asked to unmute Jessica. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi. There she is.
Hi, everyone.
Here you
Good
are.
night. Okay, so I'm having an issue with the allocation because I'm not really understanding.
Mhm.
Is it just the order papers that they have and they have cash orders that we're allocating and booth? Or are we also allocating cookies that we got from the cupboard?
You would allocate. Corey, just want to take this one because I'm
I think I'm looking at your troop. So anything that was submitted on the initial order will already be pre-allocated, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing that you would have to worry about is if they gave you cash, you do want to apply a payment to them for any cash in-person orders that they gave you. If it was a girl delivered order during the initial order period, those cookies have already been allocated and a payment has been allocated. But after the initial order, once you submitted the initial order, and if you did any booths or if you had any girls that took a girl delivered order, those cookies will need to be allocated. If it was a booth, you'll have to allocate a payment with it. But if it was a girl delivered order after the initial order and they got cookies from you to fulfill those orders, you do need to allocate those cookies, but you don't need to allocate a payment. And that's only for girl delivered orders after the initial order.
Okay, so we're only allocating payments that were paid in cash after initial order.
No, paid in cash either with the initial order or after the initial order. If they gave you
Okay.
cash, you should be adding a payment in there because the system's not going to know that they paid you.
Okay. One last question. I'm so sorry.
No,
So
no.
when we're doing the payments, right? Is there going to be like something that's tracking how, like, let's say for instance, a girl is allocated 300 boxes, just an example. Is
Mhm.
there going to be a breakdown on the girl delivery? Like, let's say for instance, she has a mix between girl delivery and cash. Is the system going to pick that up, or do I have to automatically put in the cash that I received?
You'll have to do any cash because the system doesn't recognize cash. It doesn't know that you accept cash, but anything that was done electronically in Digital Cookie, like if they took an in-hand payment or if they accepted a girl delivery order, that will transfer over into eBuddy. And what you'll see is you'll see all zeros on that line with just a payment, and it'll be like it'll say a balance like paid $14 and then a balance due -14 on that same line.
I'm sorry, you had me, then you lost me. It's okay.
We can go offline with that if you'd like,
Yeah,
Jessica,
please.
you know.
Yeah.
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 Corey, can you drop your email in the
Absolutely.
chat? And then the two of you can have. We are always happy to walk you through this brave new world we've opened with girl delivery. Next question.
Okay, this has got multiple questions in it.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, when allocating extras from the initial order, do we need to address payment? And I
Yes.
think Corey probably touched on that with her
Yes.
answer.
Every time you allocate, if they gave you money or if you have money that you've already received, always allocate a payment because then you know your financials for that girl match up. And at the end, you really want everyone to be zero for balance due, unless they truly owe you a balance, owe you money.
How do we transfer from one troop to another to allocate extra cookies from IO?
I think it's page 38 on the manual. 32, page 32 of the manual discusses that on how to do a troop to troop transfer. And just know that when you transfer cookies from one troop to the other, the financial responsibility transfers over, but money doesn't. So if money resides with one troop and you need to pay the other troop, you can, but you don't necessarily, like the troop accepting cookies, you don't ask them for money because the money the amount owed follows the troop. So if you have two troops, troop 1 and troop 2, and troop 1's transferring to troop 2, troop 2 will owe that money.
And troop 1 will be absolved of that inventory.
Correct.
Cool.
How do we select between rewards, i.e. plush for brownie rather than the menstruation kit?
On the rewards tab, when it goes live, you will be able to click your selection.
Are we bringing back girl delivery after IO for next year?
To be determined. Many people have enjoyed it. Many people haven't. We'll see. That's what we have a think tank for, so that I can hear all the sides of it and see who liked it, who hated it, who had a smashing sale because of it, who had so many headaches they wanted to cry over it.
Can you please break down how money moves between troop account and council? For example, do all digital cookie order payments go straight to council? What money goes directly into the troop account? Just money we collect at our booth sales.
A fascinating question. I think we're going to go point by point on this. So digital cookie monies are collected via a credit card processing. Then once a week, they are transferred to council. It happens every Friday. We get our share, minus credit card fees, minus anything we put in, free shipping, all of that. What's the second part of that?
Okay, for example, do they all go straight to council? What money goes directly into the troop account? Just the money we collect at our booth sales?
Correct. So any cash monies you have go into that. Also, the money from Digital Cookie will show as a negative balance in there. So in some cases, eBuddy talks to Digital Cookie and Digital Cookie talks to eBuddy. Not in every case.
Okay. So for girls that are still doing digital, I don't have to do allocation, right?
You do have to allocate.
If they're in person, you have to allocate. If
If
they're
they're in
shipped and
person, you have to
donated,
allocate.
you don't have to worry about anything.
Correct.
Okay. Financial sweeps. Do we do multiple sweeps? Last year, the bank called them because we were trying to sweep 30,000 and they didn't want to let it go through. They thought it was a scam.
We do, so we've done 2 sweeps. We did one for the initial order and we do one at the end. I would let your bank know that on April 9th, there's going to be a sweep. I don't know who you bank with, but I would just let them know. The same way if you're going to go out of the country, you let your bank know so they don't freeze your card. But April 9th, and that's April 9th is it. After that, it will be in your favor. It will be a deposit.
Okay. This one, can we leave the video link in the chart from the cookies and cocoa on questions? Or maybe she's wanting us to put the video link back in the chat?
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat. It will be in the deck. It will be embedded in the deck, which you will all receive.
All right. What if we already pre-allocated the extras during the initial order? Now we need to reallocate for another girl who did the actual in-person digital after initial. So the way I'm understanding it is that they allocated them to a girl to zero out their extras line.
Mm-hmm.
And now a different girl actually took those cookies to fill her in-person digital orders. So that's where they would need to go in and do a negative transaction like Corey explained.
Correct.
Under the first girl.
And then add.
And then allocate, yeah.
Into the second one. I think that's page 32 of the manual. Or 29.
Okay. What is happening with the 36 box mini booth?
Casey will drop in. Have you already filled out the interest form?
This came from Marianne.
Oh.
So she's probably looking at a cupboard for the cupboard side of things.
We've gotten some really cool interest in it. And as soon as we get the forms back, we will let you know how that works from a cupboard perspective. It's very simple. It's very easy. You don't have to really do anything but pull packages.
Why is there a negative balance under girl orders for some orders completed on the digital cookie app?
Digital cookie app. That one I'm going to say, email us and we will look at it at your digital cookie. I don't know off the top of my head.
Girl delivered orders after initial order in email.
Oh. Someone found the video.
For the girl delivery allocation using the troop surplus, will that payment still balance out since the money's already been paid to council?
Yes, that will balance itself out.
Due to the article out about Thin Mints, we're unable to sell them. Is there something that Girl Scouts is doing about this? We have 30 plus left of that one flavor.
We as in we can institute talking points. We cannot take product back once it has gone out. That is a New York health regulation. But this goes to another thing that I saw in the chat about what happens to unsold products after March 30th. You have until, I believe it is August 31st is the date that you cannot sell past. So you have until that time to sell all of that product. We will sweep you for our portion, only our portion. We will leave the rebate with you. We will, and then in order to make yourself whole, we encourage you can sell those until March. Until August 31st, and we will have girl talking points to debunk the it's already been debunked in Snopes and on Reuters, but I hear you on that one.
Okay. This one you addressed before about digital still charging shipping of free shippings until March 30th. So Miriam, let us know if you've got if you've got order numbers or whatever, so that we can look into that.
Before we go any further, B_Aziza has had her hand patiently raised.
Oh, I am so sorry. I'm focused over here on the right.
Casey, You're playing with something. Don't play with
Oh,
something.
Casey, your hand's wet.
Casey, hands up. If you,
Alright.
I don't know your first name, so forgive me, but B_Aziza, you've had your hand raised patiently. I would love to call. Hi, there
Thank
you are.
you. Hi.
Hi, sorry, I didn't see your little hand raised, and then I saw it.
Thank you. And I did put my question in the chat, and I'm seeing that she is approaching it. It's at 7:02 on the chat questions. So I
Great.
think she was at like 7:01, but I
So
was keeping track. But
this-
my question is, who do I speak to about unreconciled amounts? Because when I compute the amounts based off of the sales that I'm seeing, I have a difference between what's due to me than what I see in the eBuddy sales report.
you can connect with Heather, and
Heather.
she'll walk you through that.
Okay.
She is the maven and wonderful keeper of all things financial.
Okay.
It's
And then
it's probably a very simple thing that hasn't trickled over yet.
okay, and it's
So
my first year doing this, so I'm just trying to
no.
understand the numbers.
No, I say this constantly. eBuddy is the opposite of a Mac. It does not do intuitively what you want it to do. It is the equivalent of CompuServe 2000. Like it's interesting software, and it's not particularly user friendly, so it's not you.
Okay, wonderful. And I heard you mention delays also. So I guess that could be a part of it. I had another question as well, with the pushback of the allocations and the rewards that troop leaders, we now have additional time. So what about the scouts in submitting like their choice rewards? Because I think they needed to do that by March 30th, if that's correct. Do they still have that same deadline, or did it even apply to them?
They should have that same deadline.
Okay. If I haven't done the allocations yet, then if that puts them in a different reward bracket, then do I go back to them and ask them what they would prefer?
Yes. So that's how you would do that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Lovely speaking with you, and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Heather, I helped again.
You
Sometimes
did.
Sometimes
You
I help,
did.
Heather.
I give you props.
And as I equate it, it is like when your child washes the dishes and you look at it and you're like, that's so cute, because I'm gonna have to redo that in a minute. So that's what I say to Heather all the time. I'm helping.
Okay, this one may end up going offline. A few questions about digital cookie numbers not adding up to eBuddy. One is her own scout. She had girl delivery after IO of 3 packages. On the digital cookie page, they reflect, but on eBuddy, she's 3 short. And
Oh yeah, that's an offline. That's we'll help
Yeah.
in person. Let's get to the bottom of that one.
You will be 3 short in eBuddy until you allocate those cookies. You have to allocate cookies after the initial order for any in-person delivery, and that's why your goal bar won't match all the time anyways, because it's looking at the goal bar in digital cookie is actually looking at what transactions are processed in digital cookie. It's not looking necessarily at what's in eBuddy. But underneath the goal bar that it says how many are assigned by the troop leader, that's the number that you need to look at to make sure that they match.
That one, I think if she emails digital cookie at girlscoutsnyc.org, and then Sylvia can look at it, or throw it to somebody, and we can take it offline. This one's a suggestion, Mike. If we cannot do fundraising during cookie season, have council not try to have events during cookie season. We missed a lot because of booths. And another one, next year,
when you say events, are we talking programmatic events? Are we talking cookie events? What did you miss?
Jessica Feliciano. So
hi,
Jessica.
Jessica.
If we can have her unmuted.
Oh, you missed the robotics event. Okay, so it's programmatic stuff. Yeah, we can talk to the program team about that to try to avoid Saturdays and Sundays as booths. during booth season. Happy to bring that to them.
Next year, can we have girl delivery turned off by council like it was last year? The stain on confused, lots of confusion, added cookie mom stress.
We will absolutely be thinking about it. I don't know the answer to that right now, but we have to look at data and what the survey says and try to make it as democratic as possible.
Are all digital cookie delivery, girl delivered orders automatically allocated even once placed after the IO?
Yes. If it is through, no. Why do I even answer these questions? You have
And
to-
I want to throw it out there because I don't know what part of the meeting our lovely volunteers have joined in, so they may have missed the answer the first
Yeah.
from earlier.
So in a sense of deja vu, I'm going to say Corey Kane. Because I'm
Okay.
going to get this wrong.
Okay. Girl delivered orders during the initial order are all automatically allocated. However, any approved orders after you submitted your initial order need to be physically allocated. The payment will be there, but the cookies will not. So if they picked up the cookies, you need to allocate those cookies to them.
Thank you. Next
Okay.
question.
This one's interesting and may need to just reach out directly.
Yeah.
Erin had an order on the troop site that was 4 that were donated and 3 delivered in person, and the order only shows on eBuddy as the 4 during IO.
Mm-hmm.
So Erin, maybe either email me or email Digital Cookie so we can look into it, because what I'm thinking offhand is maybe you had submitted your troops initial order before that flowed through, and so the girl delivered didn't actually flow over to eBuddy. But email one of us and we can actually do some deeper diving for you.
Yeah.
All right. If girl delivery option is to stay on next year, can it please credit the girl for that one order once the order is delivered?
So you would have to mark the order delivered for that to happen.
It's still wouldn't that be a digital cookie
It is a
enhancement?
digital cookie enhancement thing.
Yeah.
Is she asking about it?
If we do it for next year, is that something we can ask for an enhancement?
Well, what I'm wondering is she asking it is like marked as delivered or marked like allocated the cookies?
It's Melissa, so
once marked delivered, it is not out. So you want one, there you go. So once it's delivered, you would like it marked allocated. That would be an enhancement.
That would be an enhancement. Yeah,
it's something that they will never do. And the reason why is because at most councils, girls sell out of their own inventory. And so eBuddy doesn't know whether or not that girl has existing inventory that she's selling or if you need to allocate it. That's why it's just a payment afterwards. Because like in my own personal troop, we pre-order all our cookies. So at the beginning of the season, each girl takes their own stash and then they sell out of it and it's already allocated. So we're just taking payments to pay our balance down.
But damn good.
So eBuddy can't do that, or Digital Cookie can't do that because it just doesn't know.
If we're ordering over 10 packages, is the system supposed to charge us for shipping?
Yes, there's a 10 package max.
Are we supposed to enter cash given for initial orders into eBuddy under the payments?
Yes.
Okay.
I like these. I know the answers to these.
Yeah, the one they were trying to order 27 packages, so that's why she was being charged. Okay, keep going. Keep going. That's all. Everybody answering that question about 10 packages. Okay, for next year, given that there were a few free shipping weeks after the initial order and including the current one, is there any chance of bringing free shipping as an option when the program opens? We were told free shipping costs the council a ton, but wondering what the strategy is for saving it for the.
I think I know where it's going. I think I know where you're going.
I can't get all of it, and every time I scroll, like I go too far.
No. So in order to be able to offer free shipping, we need to hit a certain threshold in order to make that actually viable. So we have to look at what comes in the initial order to analyze that to see what we can offer for free shipping. So never say never. But that is why it did not occur during the initial order this year, is because it literally, when I say it costs many, many hundreds of thousands of dollars, we don't know what we were able to do. And so once we looked at the initial order, we were able to come up with a number that we could spend on free shipping. And then we sort of allocated it across the weeks. So that is how that happened.
Okay, this one, the allocation and initial order setup is a lot of extra work this year. Can we please extend the time we have to close things? She may not have been here for that
Oh yeah,
part of the
no,
presentation, so.
you have an extra week. It's April 8th now.
I have a girl who is negative. She had a girl delivery after initial order from Digital Cookies. So
So I'm going to say
assume-
for all of these individual ones, please email us. So we're not trying to do them in open forum.
Okay.
We're happy, absolutely happy to walk you through them, but it requires a deep dive that I can't do off the top of my head. And you can email digitalcookie@girlscoutsnyc.org.
Okay. For the ACH sweep, how much is taken out? It would be the balance due for the cookies less the amount owed to the troop?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you were answering your own question, because that was the correct answer. That's me. I was like, is Heather answering her own questions? Does she do this now?
No, it's not my, it was somebody's question, but I figured some others might not know. Yeah, I kind of did answer it.
You did kind of answer your own question. It was fabulous. I loved it.
Does allocating payments take more money out if we've already paid?
Corey.
No, it has no, allocating payments on the Girl tab has nothing to do with the payments that the troop has received or owes to the council. Totally separate. And we don't, as a council, we don't look at the Girl tab to figure out whether or not you owe. We look at the sales report and any payments applied to the troop.
Digital order girl delivery after the initial order and paid online. The amount can't be counted towards the sweep as the troops don't have that money. How is that recognized?
It's a very complex question. I'm gonna give you a very high level version of that, which is because those cookies have already been paid for, eBuddy and Digital Cookies talk to each other. So there's not a duplicate payment. There is I can get into the weeds if you want. I'm happy to talk through that, but that is the sort of high level answer to that question that doesn't require a lot of it to say it works out in the end is too glib and too simple, but it kind of works out in the end.
That's kind of what the next two questions are, was one being reimbursed for extra cookies that we use to fill girl delivery orders, and the other leaders concerned about being double charged because they use those extras. And in the end, will it all balance out? So
yes.
When I was explaining it, I explained it that the money works the same way as it did in the past for your shipped and your donated, that money comes over into eBuddy and subtracts from whatever balance that you owe the council. So if you owed us $1,000 and you took 10 packages from your extras to give to a girl, that $70 is reflected in eBuddy, and now we only sweep you for $930. So it will, in the end, work itself out.
A beautiful way of saying that.
It seemed to, once I put numbers to it, it seemed to make more sense, and it made more sense when I explained it too. So,
I like it.
Okay, we have a question on the $5 bonus from Venmo. Is it for all users that purchase $35 or more in cookies, or only select Venmo users who receive the email?
I believe it is only for select people who received the email, and that was because they had not ordered using Venmo this year. That is a GSUSA promotion. That is not an us promotion. In fact, I knew nothing about it, and I called Venmo and reported it as a scam. So that was my take on it. And but it's perfectly legit. And it is something that GSUSA is promoting.
Okay. If you ordered cookies for a booth sale
Mhm.
and you weren't able to actually set up the booth sale, but the cookies are being sold,
Mhm.
how do you allocate those cookies to the girls?
The same way you would do it with a booth sale, right? You would add a
You-
transaction.
Yeah, under the girl order tab. You just
Yeah.
wouldn't do it on the booth sites tab.
You would do it as if you were doing a per girl.
Okay.
You can do it either way. You can either, if the booth is already in eBuddy, you can do it on the booth sites tab and record booth sale,
Oh,
or you
sure.
can do it on the girl orders tab as an allocation. Either way gets the same result.
I would think the booth would be easier because then you could just sort of do it all at once if it's
Yeah.
anybody. So
Okay. This leader received cash for one of the initial orders, did not allocate the payment, and is assuming the payment is included in what we owe and will be taken in the ACH sweep. If it was initial order, we should have swept for it
if
with
it's
the initial order sweep.
yes, if it's after,
Yeah.
we will be sweeping for it.
Just, Denny, you want to make sure you credit the girl with the payment so that way you know that she's paid in full. We have a new troop without much funds in the account. How would the sweep affect us?
So as long as you have the money, we only take what we are owed. So as long as you have the money, you've put in any money for cash that is in there. Like if you've had a booth sale, just make sure your cash is in there and it should cover that.
Where the locations for mini booths?
The locations for mini booths are wherever you want them.
Marquita,
They can be a council-sponsored booth location. I know Corey has been pairing people up. I mean, Casey has been pairing people up with possible locations that are close to them. You can find a location. We can help you find a location.
Marquita posted a couple that she had a question and asked to be unmuted.
Hi,
Oh, perfect.
I just wanted to ask a question because I've been getting this from so many troops that I have in my unit, and I'm trying to explain to them, but they were asking me if they have cookies, extra cookies, how they're supposed to distribute them. I said, well, if you have extra cookies, you're supposed to fill the orders with whoever needs from the what's that, girl delivery. They're saying no, but then we already got we have to have that money. They're gonna charge us twice. And I'm like, no, they're already counted for. You just have to fill the order. Or if you don't have it, you go to a cupboard and put the cupboard order in
Correct.
to
Everything you just said
cover.
is 100% true.
And they're not understanding me, so I'm like, maybe I need to get clarification from one of you to try to
I mean,
explain to them.
you can always have them email us.
Cause they feel like they're gonna get charged double if they give the girls the cookies. I said, but the money's already in there. Like, say if it has a negative by one of the girls that you're filling now. I said the money's already there. So they said, but how do we get the money back? Because these are cookies that we got for like the cookie booths and stuff like that. And I'm like, but it's already there.
So, I mean, if for some reason they are owed money at the end because, they've got there's more orders and more payments, then that will be reflected when we do the last, the last pull of the report, and we'll issue a credit back to them. So if
Okay,
for some reason, they've got more orders than what they owe us for, then they'll get money back that way.
yeah, because they were asking also like if they got the cookies from the cupboard. Like a lot of people been coming to me to get cookies. Then like now what happens with that since you're coming to get those cookies to cover? I said, but the money is there. If it
And
has
there's
a
a
negative
transaction
there.
there's a transactional record in eBuddy because you can't just pick up cookies from a cupboard. You have to put through eBuddy. So eBuddy will account for that.
Yeah. And offset what they may owe for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because basically they've received more money than cookies that they've received.
Okay. All right.
Cool. Thanks, Marquita.
Thank you.
Somebody asked for the link to the manual. I don't know, Corey, you may have already seen that and dropped that in. And if so, thank you.
We can do it.
I will do it again.
All right. Are we doing another encore week?
No.
Okay.
I see hands raised, so I'm just going to ask.
Yeah, well, I kind of scroll through some things where people have answered.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or just
hold on, hand raisers.
No, go ahead and get one of them, Mike.
Okay. I don't want to say your last name wrong, so I'm actually going to put on my glasses. I'm going to say Samantha Rismeyer. Can you unmute? Casey will ask you to unmute. You have your hand raised patiently, and I hope I said your name right.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
You know how in girl delivery, you have to mark the in girl delivery orders as you deliver them? If they're not marked delivered, do they not get allocated?
They do get allocated.
Okay.
However, wait. Corey, in my mind, yes, they get allocated, correct?
No, they don't get allocated. That you have to physically allocate any girl delivered orders after the initial order was submitted.
No, this is before. So these were part of initial orders. So everybody who did initial orders for girl delivery, and then you know how it shows in digital cookie, it gives you who you got to deliver to. And if they don't mark that, are those cookies not allocated?
If it was during the initial order, those cookies are already allocated. The purpose of marking them delivered is one, the troop leader knows that all of their Girl Scouts have delivered all their product, and two, the customer gets a receipt confirmation that says we delivered your product. So
okay, because I have parents that half the time don't even use girl delivery, have trouble with the digital cookie and stuff. So I don't know how much they do, if they actually mark it as not delivered.
Yeah. And
I just want to make sure that didn't change from the years before.
Yeah, and they really should mark it as delivered, and you as a troop leader, you can go in under the troop registration with digital cookie. If you sign in there, you can see if you have any pending delivery.
Okay, when should I worry about if they're not delivered? Is there a time frame?
I would start now just to make sure, because then if say they haven't delivered it, then they can follow up with the customers, because the customers initially, when they ordered those cookies during the initial order, they received a confirmation email that said the cookies would be delivered around March 14th. So we have customers reaching out and say, hey, I haven't received my cookies yet. So you want them to, start the communication with them to arrange that delivery.
Okay.
And the two things to note on that, the March 14th was just for in-person orders during the initial order. Number two, the customers, and this is a good safety feature, they have no way of getting in touch with you, with the girl. So they have to call us, and then
unless they personally know the girl.
Yeah, unless
most of them do, I'm sure, because most
they
people
do.
Give it to people.
We've had the occasion where someone goes, "Hi, can you help? I don't know how to reach this person." Which would be, we're happy to do. But I think
well, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. All right, moving right along to my raised hands, Dominique Pastrana. How are you?
Hello. So I just want to better understand the negative balances. This has always been a thing in eBuddy where we had to like even out these negative numbers. And if we don't even out the negative numbers, we can't submit our order. We can't submit our allocations and stuff. So I'm talking about like the negative balances on each girl account, like that where we have to indicate the plus payment. Is this in result of the girl delivery orders after initial order season?
Correct.
Okay. And then if we don't if we don't like rectify or balance out those negative numbers, does that mean we just owe council that money? Because I don't remember ever having to do these plus payment things, but I also don't know if that's because I do the separate WooFoo payments to kind of balance things out. Like once I see that we have balances, I try to pay them off as we go. So I don't know if that has to do with why I've never really noticed these negative accounts before.
I suspect it plays into that.
Okay. So it's basically anybody, we just want to make sure everything's zeroed out. Zero out the extras, zero out the troop site. We just want everything just to even out even any negative balances.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the name of the game.
The importance of zeroing out those girls for those girl delivered orders afterwards is if you don't allocate those cookies, they're not going to earn the reward.
Right.
So if they reached a reward level and they see that they sold it, but you didn't allocate those cookies, the girl's not going to earn that reward. And then there's going to be disappointment on the girl side. So we want to make sure that we really allocate those and zero all of those out on the girl order tab.
Okay. And the other thing, that money, Dominique, that has nothing to do with what you owe council. That is between you and the girl and her family. So that is what the girl owes to the troop.
Gotcha. Okay.
The girl order tab or the sales report tab, sorry.
Yeah.
Is what the troop owes council. So that's where you would look at for that. Okay. For what you guys owe us.
Understood.
All right.
I'll take a deep dive.
Dominique, I also want to make sure you understand that if a girl have a negative dollar on it, it means you owe her cookies to allocate, not that she owes money. So make sure that if a girl
okay, so I just have to allocate.
Right,
okay.
She's missing 2 packages, so if you allocate, that will balance out to 0.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's probably what it is, because I haven't finished doing all the booth sales. So
there you go.
That's probably what it is, because you recently did do a booth sale. Okay.
If you need instructions, you can email me and I'll send you the instructions to do that step by step.
All right. Thanks, Sylvia. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That is Sylvia Cho. You are illustrious cookie coach. Coming in for the win. Okay. Heather, where are we?
Okay. So, I mean, we've talked about the negative balances due to post-IO orders and how to allocate those. But now the other part of that next question is when troops do troop-to-troop transactions in eBuddy, how do we know that the money transfer is accurate?
It's recorded in eBuddy. So what you on that transaction page, eBuddy will move the financial liability to the new troop.
Correct, but
you shouldn't be paying
so if troop A received payment for that product, but you're moving it over to troop B, the payment doesn't follow it. Only the cookies and the financial liability is moved. So if troop A received the payment, they should pay troop B the cookies.
That just got very complex.
I know. Do you want to whoever answers that question, I want to
take that in a one-on-one because I think that's going to cause more confusion than where I want to say just the financial liability moves.
Yeah.
So we'll email. We will find you. We will email you, or you can email one of us.
Okay. This one is you can still sell extra cookies until August, but can't sell at a booth after the season ends. Is that correct?
Absolutely not. You can it's an unofficial booth, but you could set up a stand at wherever you like to do that. It's just not an eBuddy.
If we're having a booth sale in May, how do we allocate those cookies now before rewards have to be submitted?
That you don't earn rewards on those. You only earn rewards through the March 30th.
Or you just pre-allocate those cookies.
Or you pre-allocate them.
3-part question. Will the sweep on the 9th take all the money for the cookie booth cookies and also the extras so that when we sell the cookies at the cookie booth, does that money belong to the troop?
Yes, that is yours to be made whole.
And do the parents have to do the rewards for their child in digitals before we do them in eBuddy?
They should. It's useful. They don't have to.
Yeah, because they can always tell the troop leader too.
Yeah. So don't.
On the sales report, the true proceeds amount, a negative number, represents rebate based on initial order sale with a question mark. And then the amount you owe council, a negative amount, represents rebates post IO sale.
Say that for me one more time.
I'm not processing that one. On the sales report, the proceeds amount showing a negative amount represents rebate based on IO sale. The amount you owe council is a negative amount, represents rebates post IO sale. I think, Susan, that's when you should email me with your troop numbers so I can look at it, anybody.
Because I don't have it's not making sense to me. But I have a
No.
feeling if I see it on paper, I will know the answer to that.
And really, the true proceeds are for all cookies sold within the program. And anything that's under the amount you owe council, if it's a negative, that's the amount that we owe you. And if it's a positive number, that's the amount you owe council. But it's for the entire sale. It's not just during the initial
It's
order.
not split, is it?
No, it's not split. It's all cookies taken for the entire season.
All right. We have a girl delivery order that includes a s'more. Customer meant to select Samoa. How can they cancel that approved order?
You know, they don't need to cancel it. All they have to do is when you pick up the cookies from the cupboard, just submit for Samoa because the financial's the same.
There we go. How do we add new Girl Scouts to eBuddy?
There is an add a girl to eBuddy form, which I believe the deadline for that is coming up real soon. So can we pop that in the chat?
Yeah, and if they're just registered, they should I should be catching them also.
But let's make sure that we have the form so that they
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Amazing. Thank you. Next question.
Okay. I'm scrolling through some more, answers and will the survey go to parents as well? Because a lot of parents complain about the after IO sales.
It's gonna go to everybody.
Okay. This season was very rushed. Is next year to be a little longer, not super long, but just slightly, maybe?
That is a perfect suggestion to put in the survey under the area. Yeah, we can make it longer. There's a limit as to how long we can make it. But I have a feeling you're talking like a week or two, not like a month.
Suggestion for free shipping be less weeks, but with a 4-box minimum, that won't scare people like 6 boxes did.
Again, that is a perfect survey question.
Next year, could troop cookie managers have power to turn off girl delivery at the end of the initial order period? That way troops that like it can keep it and cookie moms who don't can end it. I think that's a digital cookie thing too, right, Corey?
Mm-hmm.
That the TCMs don't have the power to do that.
Yeah, that's a GSUSA thing. TCMs don't.
But this
because
is
in
why
most councils, the girls have inventory, so it's up to the girl to turn it on and off.
But this is why we go to the product program conference so that we can bring all of these suggestions to them.
So definitely add those things to the survey so that we've got them.
There will be a question, what enhancements would you like to see on the websites?
Okay, Mike, do we know what cookie's going to replace s'mores?
I don't. I haven't been told yet. I know nothing. No, I'm as curious as you are.
Miriam's got 15 boxes from her initial order. Can they sell them? And do they have to report that money even though they were charged? Absolutely, you can sell them. And then that money just
yours.
It's yours. What's the difference between allocating payments and allocating cookies?
I'm not even going to try to answer this one. I'm just going to give it to Corey. not even. Corey's going to host this meeting next year. I'm going to throw questions.
You're going to be an expert next year on this,
right?
So basically, allocating payment is just purely just money. It's just a financial transaction. You want to make sure that the girl's zeroed out. If she doesn't owe the money, owe the troop any money, and she's made all her payments, you want to make sure that you add any payments that you've received from her via like cash or check. As for allocating cookies, that's actually physical boxes that she's taken after the initial order. And you do want to allocate those because those are going to count towards her rewards.
Said better than I ever could say it.
This one, with all the proceeds I guess it should be GSUSA takes from cookie sales, is there possibility to hire a UX person to make all this user-friendly and easier to navigate and manage? Cookie managers should be paid for all of this.
I agree with both of those statements.
Except for the fact that GSUSA actually does not get proceeds from cookies. And that's why I wanted to make sure that this was brought up and
Yeah,
that
it's true.
was,
They actually don't get a dime from cookies.
are Raspberry Rallies ever coming back?
I have no idea. People were really torn on them. There were some people who absolutely loved them, and there were people who absolutely hated them. So I don't know what the feedback came on that. I do know that I would really like to see them rolled out in a different way. I would like them to just be a core cookie if they ever come back. Not an online shipped. That was a disaster.
Jakar's got a question about reading the sales report. The best thing there is to just email somebody on the team, probably me or Sylvia, and we can walk you through that and answer questions.
I'm going to call on Akeisha, who has been very patiently waiting and walked down a hallway, and I felt bad because I saw you. And then I was like, please don't leave before I call on you.
Hi, my
Hi, how you doing?
buddies. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Talk to
So
me.
I haven't seen you guys in person in a long time, so hello. One, I want to thank you guys for your tremendous support. When I reach out, you email me, you call me back, and I really appreciate that from Troop 1200. So I thank you for that. One of my questions was already answered, which was the initial order, is it coming back? Because that was a true nightmare for leaders. But my other question is actually on the digital cookie and eBuddy platform. And I'm not sure if you answered that, but when you go on the digital cookie app, as opposed to going onto the digital cookie website, they're two different platforms. Like they look different.
Yes, they are.
And that is crazy. Like it's a nightmare. Right? Like eBuddy, like one day when I was trying to figure out, like, okay, if the girls owed cookies, which cookies, it just had a total of cookies and it didn't have which cookies. So it's like those sites are so temperamental. And
well, all right, lean in because I'm going to deny this in public. It's being recorded, so I can't really deny this. First of all, why isn't the phone application the one that has all the enhancements?
Because it used to,
right?
They changed it. Yeah.
I unhealthily live on my phone and do more on my phone than I ever would do on my on the desktop. And there are things that it will glitch in the phone that if I go on the desktop, it doesn't glitch.
Right. So I think I don't know, like, if there's a way for you guys to, like, whoever your comms people are, your IT or whatever, but they just need to make them parallel and make them match, because it will be so much easier on leaders. Because now I have to go from like, if a parent asks me something in real time, I have my phone with me real time. I don't have my laptop with me real time. I may not even have my iPad with me real time. So it's really a headache. And I'm not sure if you guys addressed that earlier on in a meeting, but that really has to be addressed because it's bad.
I completely agree with you. The irritating thing is we don't own the software. GSGNY does not own the software, so I can't change anything. I have to sort of run it up a national thing, and then they have to take a vote on it, and then they talk about it, and then maybe it happens. But I could not agree with you more. So you are, and I think everyone on this call lives too much on their phone, more than we'd like to admit, and that both platforms, if you've ever tried to use eBuddy on your phone, it makes me cry. I have to use Google Chrome.
Right.
I refuse. And I have said this to the baker. I have said this to the head of the baker when we were at breakfast with them, and they sat at our table, and I said, I refuse to use. It's not user friendly.
But why did they? And it's like, why would you take away that option? Because it used to have, like, my daughter is in Girl Scouts, so I had my daughter's site, the troop site, and then the cookie. Like, we were able to actually do. It was like 3 different links there that we were able to use, and they took that one away completely.
Yep.
And I'm like, who thought that was a great idea?
Well, you could not be, I think everyone on this call is in agreement with you, and I certainly love to cause a good problem at a product program conference. So I will happily bring that suggestion, and everyone from GSUSA will scowl at me. But I say, bring us better applications.
And nobody will sit at our breakfast table, Mike.
Nobody, that's why no one sits with us. Like literally no one sits with us.
We're
all alone.
The first day, and then we're like paupers, and it's just the GSGNY team all by ourselves.
It's true.
Hilarious.
Like a baker might sit with us the first day, and then I'm mean, and then nobody sits with us, and it's great because we get, you know.
But if any of you have suggestions, when we send out the survey and you want an enhancement in either eBuddy or Digital Cookie, any suggestions that you have regarding to the software, please send it to us, because every year GSUSA and Little Variety Bakers, they ask us, what enhancements do you want to see? And then they prioritize these enhancements. And if we don't hear from you, we don't know what necessarily what you're looking for. So if you have something that we're not necessarily seeing, please tell us, and we will send it up the chain.
You know, I like a good fight. So, all right, I have one last hand raised, and then we'll go back to the other questions.
Okay.
Iris, hi. How are you? Casey, that's why Iris Allen. Ooh, has she gone away? She's now disappeared.
Oh,
Can you
no.
hear me?
Oh, I see her again. There she is. Hang on. Hold up. You should be all set, Iris.
There you are. Hi. Oh, no, you're still muted. Hold on. You're still muted. Technical difficulties. Oh, now you're unmuted. Okay, I heard you laugh. Nope, now you're muted.
Oh, she's muted.
Ask to unmute.
Don't click it, Mike, because I just did.
Okay, all right. Hands up. I'm not touching anything. Click it again, because I swear I probably remuted her. Okay, I'm not touching it, and I'm keeping my hands over here. Hi, Iris. How you doing? Oh, now you're muted again, and that wasn't me. Like, I have empirical proof that that was not me.
Wait. Okay. None of us are touching. Is Iris muting herself?
I don't know.
It might be a technical issue. I'm so sorry about that.
Type it in. Type
it in. All right, you want to go back to the chat, Mike?
Yeah, let's go back to the chat.
All right.
We're looking for you.
How do they join the Cookie Think Tank?
That will be sent out. That also will be in the survey. We will send the link to the application. It's a very quick application. We just want to know who you are, why you want to be on the think tank, and, you know, fun stuff like that. But everyone is welcome, all experience levels.
Oh, this is a great question. I don't think has ever come up. Does the cost of rewards come out of our cookie sale money? Is that why there's an option to opt out of rewards?
No, it does not. It's built into the budget. So a portion of every cookie box is comes out of our net. It's built in that way. Fantastic question.
It's a great question. This one was somebody wanting the recording shared, so we will definitely share it with everyone that signed up. If for some reason you don't get it, just shoot us an email and we'll make sure that we get that out to you.
Oh, Iris just said it. Okay, for the digital cookies, we add a transaction and click on Troop to remove the product from our inventory. Corey. Do you want me to read that again?
No, I can see it.
Oh, of course you can.
So are you talking like for a digital cookie transaction, the girl delivered order?
Yes, she is nodding her head yes.
Okay, so if it's a girl delivered order, you're going to go to the girl order tab, and you're going to click on the girl that you want to allocate the cookies to, and then you hit plus order, and then you add the amount of cookies that you're at, that you gave her. So if it was 3 packages, you do 3.
I am watching her do this in real time, and yes, she's got it.
Yeah, so yeah, you wouldn't have to add a payment to it since the girl already received payment. You just need to add the cookies.
Cool. Thanks, Iris. Sorry we couldn't hear you. You know I love talking to you.
How do I know if the post IO cupboard orders are girl delivered or extra product being ordered?
You would have put in the cupboard order.
Yeah. And eBuddy doesn't differentiate, so
Yeah, it doesn't.
They don't. eBuddy doesn't care.
I think I don't mean to be snarky on that question.
No, me neither. But eBuddy doesn't. It's not smart. Let's say eBuddy's not smart enough to differentiate.
Right.
Yeah, it just looks at total number of packages. It doesn't care how you received them.
Somebody wanted Toast J's to replace s'mores. Different bakery and Toast J's are actually going away.
True. Their last year.
Yeah.
At ABC.
Okay, so to clarify, if girls have a negative balance and I allocate cookies to them, do I have to allocate a payment as well?
No.
No. Because that payment's already there in eBuddy. Otherwise, you're going to have too much money there.
Correct.
Akeisha says we pay the most for cookies in the country, so we should have leverage on getting our enhancements. I love it.
I mean, hey, that's a perfectly valid. We have the most. Yes, sure. I love the way you think. I can't disagree with that. It's flawless logic.
If the girl orders is negative, the way I'm reading this is that the girl order tab, so the number at the bottom, the difference, and all of our girls are at 0. Is that just the boxes that we have left over?
Say that one more time.
If the girl orders is negative and all of our girls are at 0, is that just the boxes that we have left over?
Are you talking about the difference line on the girl orders tab?
That's how I interpret it.
Yeah.
Then that's extra packages that you should have sitting in your troop inventory. And those need to be allocated. Those should be allocated out to the girls.
Are the rewards just the t-shirt, or do we have to show the girls other reward options? If so, where do they see the other rewards?
So it's on the order card. That is the best place to show them the rewards. And yes, they do have to make an option. If there are multiple things offered at that level, they do need to make an option and they need to make a selection for that, for each one of those levels.
How do you allocate cookies from a booth sale to girls in different troops?
That's a troop to troop transfer.
And then if I do a negative transaction for 7 boxes, I write -7 as the order amount and -49 as the payment amount.
Correct.
And we are at the bottom.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Nope, that was just a thanks. Okay. I saw a new message come through.
Don't scare us like that, Iris.
I know, she literally gave me heart palpitations. I was like, okay, I finally got through. At one point I saw like 70 messages.
It's mildly terrifying, isn't it?
It was.
Mr. Ian, would you please unmute? Where are you? Are you here? Are you there?
I'm in an undisclosed location in the mountains.
Okay, cool.
I wanted to wait until everybody got the more important questions out of the way. I have a comment, which I brought up at our CCC meeting last week, and I wanted to raise it again today.
Yeah.
First, I would like to say, Michael, you know I love you.
Yeah.
And I respect the entire cookie team, so nothing I'm about to say is personal. It's just business.
I'm mostly dead inside, so I take nothing personally.
I feel that the way that council handled digital cookie this year and the free shipping was a disservice to troop leaders, cookie managers, parents. customers, and most importantly, Girl Scouts. And I will go through some of those ways very quickly. By not offering free shipping during the initial order, I think it put a burden on parents and troop leaders to make deliveries that we wouldn't otherwise had to have made if they were free shipping. Like, I drove to Pennsylvania to deliver cookies. I'm sure lots of other parents went to lots of lengths to save $13 for their cousins or their aunts or their grandparents or whatever. As far as the customers, we were in a situation where we're asking them to pay $12.99, $13 worth of shipping. Now, 2 years ago, before we raised the price of cookies from 5 to 7, the minimum order, as I recall, was 5 boxes at $5 a piece. So we're asking people for $25. This year, we were asking those same people for $43. So to go from, and that's without the shipping. With the shipping, it's $56. So we went from asking our cousins who we see, once a year to spend $25 to asking them to pay $56. That's a really big jump and a really big ask, to put on our friends and family who are buying our cookies because they want to support our Girl Scout, not because they want to pay shipping. And then for the girls, we have all these badges. We've been going through the cookie badges, cookie innovator, cookie digital cookie, this, that, and the other. And there are things in there like come up with a marketing strategy, plan out your business. What business could plan without knowing whether or not they're going to have any shipping costs? It just wasn't possible. And the sporadic nature of springing free cookie sales on us, if I were to send that message out to pre-existing customers, they would just be insulted. They're like, why didn't you tell me this yesterday when I spent $13 on shipping? Why didn't you tell me if I waited till Tuesday, I could have gotten it for free? So last year we were able to strategize. We were able to plan, and we were able to say, okay, this is when we're going to concentrate on digital cookie, and this is when we're going to concentrate on booth sales. This year we were not able to do that. We were not able to plan. And as a result, we've spent every single weekend this month doing booth sales, sometimes in the freezing cold and the rain, and I'm making my 4th trip to a cupboard this week. And that's just to come up with the same amount of money that we did last year through digital cookie free shipping. So I understand that there are financial issues, and I beg council to reconsider. I feel that they were erring on the side of being extremely fiscally conservative, but the burden was borne by troop leaders, customers, and Girl Scouts. And I think that council should be able to have faith that if we have a planned, scheduled initial cookie order free shipping, that we're going to come up with the money we need to cover the shipping. And I would love to see the numbers on what the first 2 weeks of free shipping last year were compared to the last 2 weeks of free shipping this year, because I would imagine that when people were able to plan for it, schedule it, and put it into a business strategy, that it was more productive last year than this year. And I love you and your cookie team, and you do a wonderful job, and none of it's personal. That's what I got.
Do I look like I'm upset? That's just my resting face. No. First of all, nothing is personal in the cookie world. So a lot of what you said, I think, has a lot of real validity to it and comes from a really authentic place. I would say that this is a perfect example of the kind of discussions that we want to have in the think tank, and the kind of discussions that we want to come from the survey, because all of those are really valid points and should be talked about by people who make the decisions, right? So the more you speak up like that, the more you advocate for yourself, the more that we can advocate for you, because we know what's going on in the field. You know what I mean? That's a really important point. So I don't think you should ever be afraid to speak what you're experiencing, no matter how shaky your voice is, or if you think I'm going to be cross with you. I think it's important. I think it's important to say. I think, it's the exact same things we do, or we try to do in government, we raise our voices, and every voice can cause change. So I think you were very brave. So that is my take on that. And again, this is a perfect thing to be in the think tank with, and why we created it, or why we saw the need to create it.
Mike, I haven't gone through the chat, but I do see at least, that there's definitely one more question. There's a couple more messages, so they might just be
Someone
comments.
said preach. I thought that was great. I was like, that made me happy.
So let me know when you want me to throw.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's
don't be afraid. I yell, but like.
No, I know. I just didn't know if you had anything else to say to Mr. Ian and the rest of the crew before,
No.
And didn't want to call it while we had, some questions. So what happens if we don't have all the money in the account at the time of the sweep?
You will bounce.
I mean, ideally reach out to me and let me know, because
so that we don't bounce you.
Yeah, we'd rather that you reach out and let us know, and especially if there's some sort of problem that you're having with the account, that way we can pull it, and that you don't bounce, that you don't incur a fee from us and incur a fee from your bank. That would be the, worst thing. Mike always says we're nicer than the IRS, so we want to help you out as much as possible. So, definitely if you look at your sales report and realize you don't have all the money, please reach out.
We'll figure something out.
Pull you, and then we can we have a form that we use, that we can send to you, and you can pay part if you've got part of it in the bank, and we'll work with you. So just don't be afraid to reach out to us. Okay, this leader's seen positive balances in the girl order tab. Is there something they're supposed to do to zero out that balance? When they go to the individual girl, it looks like it's online. It appears as a negative balance. I'm thinking if it's positive balances, that they may have initial order, paper orders that they didn't give money to. But Angela, reach out again to somebody on the team, with your troop number, so we can actually go into eBuddy and take a peek and give you a true answer. Comments on the free shipping, suggestion of a flat rate discount option if we're not ready to commit. Which tab in eBuddy do you record the booth sale? Iris, that would be on the booth sales tab, or the booth sites tab.
And Casey, can you please approve Miss Iris's booth for Saturday?
I just saw that. Thank you.
Otherwise, she's gonna yell at me.
If somebody, as I'm scrolling through these, if somebody would drop my email in the chat.
Has been done. It has been done. Everyone now has their email.
Of course they do. Thank you, Sylvia. That way, those that are, money ones I can address. All right. So I think that's the end of the questions.
At the end of the questions?
We've got Cynthia over there cracking up between you, me, and Corey.
We have fun. We have fun
that we,
team. When we're not crying under my desk. Sometimes, I always say it's not cookie season until each one of us has cried in the closet at least once. So, Corey has a remote closet.
Yeah. In the future, can cupboard managers have a chance to win prizes during Cookies, Cocoa, and Questions?
If you put it in the chat.
Love you, Katrina.
I didn't see you in the chat. I couldn't scroll in the chat for you. Oh, I'm so glad that your friend will be excited about his panda hoodie. They're in good health. Can the survey it is from next year's mascot? I think it's been chosen.
It's
I don't
been
know.
chosen, it's just not been announced.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was like, as I almost said it, I don't even know what it is. So
Because they do it, don't they do it 2 years out, I think? Didn't we
They
just
do it
vote
2
on
years
the
out.
one for,
Yeah.
the last voting we did is for 2026. I
yeah.
think,
So
if I'm not wrong.
that will roll out from LBB, and when we do, we'll send that out.
But they'll have another survey this summer that they'll give us for,
Yeah.
a future season.
How do we see average donation per girl?
Are you looking for like the PGA for donation, gift to caring PGA?
It's Melissa, so if we can get Melissa unmuted so she can ask specifically.
Hi, there was an email that was sent out stating that there was like rewards for the highest, I believe the 3 highest troops with the average donation boxes per girl. On eBuddy, you can only see the the blanket cookie average per girl for their troop. How do you see the donation average per troop if that reward is based on donations alone?
You cannot see that. That is something that only we can see.
Yeah, we'll calculate. You can calculate it yourself to see what your girls are doing. How we're going to calculate it is we're going to take the number of girls selling and divide it by the number of gift to caring packages assigned to your troop. And that'll be the PGA. And that's how we'll determine it.
So when will those decisions be known to the troops? I forget what email it was that it came out, but it's at like the top 3 or whatever. Like when is that going to be
top
known?
2, and we will let you know. We have to wait till the sale's over.
So that's after April 8th or that's after March 30th?
That would be after March 30th, as we will look at the sales report and we will reach out to the top 2 troops. But you can email us and ask us if you are one. That's an email that we can do. Give us till like April 2nd. Because
Well, it might be a little bit longer because some of the troops will be still allocating, and if they received funds for it and they haven't allocated those cookies yet.
True. You know what? Let's just be safe and say April 8th. We will announce that on April 8th. I think that's
okay. So only known to you guys, right?
Only known to us. You can figure out what your PGA is. I just can't tell you everybody else's.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks.
You're
All
very
right.
welcome.
We've got another question. Is there a patch for cookies and nut sales, and what was it?
So there were patches. Oh, do you mean like the crossover patch?
That's what I think Lorraine is talking about.
Yes, there was a crossover patch that if you sold, and I don't remember the amount, in fall product, and you sold 175 packages, you are eligible for the crossover patch.
And those get shipped directly to the girl, Lorraine.
Correct, from
So,
M2.
yeah, so we'll, at the end of the sale, we'll be able to pull reports and let them know which girls earn those patches.
The crossover patch is actually 20 emails, and if you sell 175 packages.
There we go.
Cool. I forgot what the fall product component was. Fall seems
I did too.
So far away. So that was years ago. Happened in the world.
Christian's still trickling in, Mike.
Sent out. I sent out emails to those that were eligible from the fall product to remind them that they were eligible to earn it if they meet the cookie qualifications. So those parents and caregivers that had Girl Scouts that were eligible from the fall, we've reached out to them to let them know that they need to sell the second part.
Cool. When will girls get their rewards?
So we submit, and then it's 6 weeks after that. So it should be by the end of May at the very latest.
Did we meet goal?
That is not a question that I am going to answer in public forum. What a dreadful thing to ask me. Here.
Don't beat up Mary Ann. Don't beat up
Mary
Ann.
In the public forum. asking me to kiss and tell.
I'm just throwing all the questions. Will top
Good
cookie
question.
sellers for each borough be announced?
Yes, at some point we will announce them. We have to figure out who they are first.
Yeah. I saw a hand. Where did I see a hand?
There was a hand. Yes, there was a hand.
Nancy, one of our Nancys, but I'm not sure which Nancy it was.
I think it was Nancy with a Z, maybe.
That sounds right.
Nancy with the Z.
We have one Nancy signed in, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
Nancy with the Z.
It's Nancy with a Z.
The other Nancy must have left.
Yeah, no, that's me.
Yay, hi.
Nancy Z with a Z.
Nancy with a Z. That's how you're going to be known from now on to us. Nancy with a Z.
Like Liza.
I didn't know, like, I don't want to date myself and see who actually got that reference. But yes, you're Nancy with a Z.
I'm the one who posted that question about the cupboard orders. If we could tell which ones were girl delivered and which one were extra product. The only reason is I manage 6 troops, and I'm getting emails, you know, for like a cupboard ordered for like 10, a cupboard ordered from this troop. And I'm not sure if they're ordering, but short of asking them if they're ordering extra product or they're ordering for the girl delivered post initial order. And the only reason I need to know is because the girl delivered would be prepaid because they were ordered online, but extra product will be swept coming up in whatever that is, April 9th.
So unfortunately, you do, in that case, so now that I know more context, you do need to just ask the
lead. And
the
how
leader.
does the cupboard know then what's coming in?
So it's funny, it doesn't matter to the cupboard. So that I know it sounds counterintuitive, but product going out is product going out.
Right.
Cupboards don't take any money ever. So it's all done on the back end.
So it's just this plus and minus. It's
Exactly.
like,
It's literally like something goes out, something comes in. They don't take any payment because anything that goes out for an extra or for a booth order is on credit.
right.
Anything that has been prepaid has been prepaid. So
Okay.
it's literally in the cupboard world, it's just I give you these many packages.
So the girl delivered orders that are digital, the quantities don't go anywhere until we order them from the cupboard. Is that
Correct.
okay? Now I got it. Thank you so much.
No problem, Nancy with a Z. All right. Oh, I'm glad you found that interesting, Miriam. We try to be interesting. It's cookies. It can only be so interesting. Does anyone have anything else? I'm out of tea. So
Aziza's raised her hand.
Aziza has raised her hand. Careful, I'm out of tea.
Thank you. So this question just came up from listening to the conversation just now, and I have been trying to like understand the sales report and allocation. So I have a question because if we are adding orders to individual Girl Scouts based off of these the girl delivery, but we get the cookies from the cupboard. And then what I see in the sales report is that there was, when you get the cookies from the cupboard, there's a line added, like in the top right corner that says you've received a certain number from the cupboard. And my concern was, oh man, well, is this cupboard counting, is the cookies from the cupboard double counting what was already ordered through Digital Cookie? But now my understanding is no, Digital Cookie is just accepting the payment, recording the payment, but there's a 0 for the girl as far as receiving the cookie. So when I do the allocation, instead of adding like to each girl, right? And I guess trying to remember, well, where is the this cookie order coming from? Could it be a connection made from the cupboard to then just allocate that amount to each girl?
No, it's something that
already
you have to do.
recorded in the system. Say that again.
It is something, it cannot come from the cupboard, but here's what I would suggest is email Sylvia. Sylvia, can you drop your email in the chat?
Yes.
Because you're a new leader, Sylvia will help.
Okay. Yes, and I've spoken to Sylvia before. Hi, Sylvia. So I'll reach out.
Great.
Okay.
And just make sure whenever you give product out or you receive cash in that you write a receipt for everything. Because
Okay.
then if there's an error, it's easier to find where the error is.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Katrina, I like that idea on the receipt.
Yeah.
Very smart. Alrighty. As I always do. Going once? Going twice? Can we have cookies go? Yes, it will just be called us drinking at a bar crying. We'll pick a bar and we'll have a cuppa and a nice dram.
I need to fly up there. We all need to go to
It's
happy
true.
hour.
We're all gonna
seriously.
we're all gonna toast the end of cookie season 2025. All right, going once, going twice. Does anyone have anything else? All right, we are done. Happy Cookies, Cocoa, and Questions number 3. Thank you for joining us and asking lovely questions and giving us wonderful feedback. Thank you. So goodbye. This is my least favorite part because everybody says goodbye. Oh, Iris needs Sylvia's email. Bye. Bye. All right, Casey, we can stop sharing. They know we love them and say thank you. Good night. Good night.